Well, good evening and happy Tuesday. It is another week and it's another month. We are now in the second quarter of the year, and we are also gearing up for the Pen to Paper Tour this month. And so, in light of that, I want to talk about an area that I have touched on before and early on before, in between rather, some of the guests that I've had on. And I want to touch on this whole self-awareness piece, and then I want to tie it to what it is that we're going to be talking about on this tour. And so I hope this will be beneficial for many people who are considering attending one of the workshops across the country this year or the conference that's taking place in November, um, on the 1st and 2nd here in Dallas, Texas. But what I want to do tonight is I want to um, invite you into this thought. And I'm going to ask you, this is pre recorded tonight, so I'm going to ask you to definitely um, leave me your comments. And I'm going to follow back up on this subject matter on next week. And I'm probably going to be talking about this all month as we kind of prepare ourselves and get ready for the tour, because we will have some on location podcasts, and we'll be going live and talking with different attendees and just finding out where we land with this particular area. But I want to ask some questions. Um, Number one, have you recently asked yourself, inquired of yourself regarding what it is that you do or what it is that you want to do? What is my why? What is my why for doing it? Why is it that I want to do it? What is my vision for it? Why is that my vision? Is that what God showed me, or is that what I desire for myself? And it's not a bad thing that you have a desire for yourself, but you want to be clear about what it is that God has given you a vision to do and how that is tied to your innate ability. And I'm going to be borrowing some notes and some nuggets from one of my favorite authors, John Maxwell. And this is from his book, The Self Aware Leader. And I think it's so important, and I've talked about this, that we're self aware of who we are and that we embrace that, but we have to be clear about what that is. And do you know how many people are not maximizing life and they're not living, they're existing because they're not clear about who they are and they're not clear about their purpose. Therefore, they're not clear about what the vision is that they should be working to manifestation. And so I want to encourage you to really lean in to some of the areas. And so one of the things that he first talks about when it comes to success and defining it, and of course there are different definitions out there, but this is how he defines it: knowing your purpose in life, number one; growing to your maximum potential, number two; and number three, sowing seeds that benefit others. That's success. Many times people have asked me about the success of either my business and or pen to paper. And my response is always this: if one person is impacted, if one person understands who they are and what their purpose is, if one person gets an epiphany about or gets clear about the vision that God has given to them, so that they can walk out of that door, out of that venue, whatever that is, and they have a better lease on life, they had a better understanding, a clearer understanding, it was a success. The dollar amount is irrelevant to me if people are not sure about what it is that they're supposed to be doing. And you would not believe that the number of people who do not have clarity about purpose in life. And so that's one aspect of it. But this is the thing that I think a lot of us do not realize. And the reason why I say we don't realize it is because we constantly pursue doing things that are not tethered and tied to our innate abilities, the talents and the creativity that we were born with. God gave it to us for a reason and for a purpose. So this is what John Maxwell had to say about, and this is just a nugget, but I want to expound on this. People's purpose in life is always connected to their giftedness. Oftentimes, our giftedness is the one thing that we run away from. And I've said this in many environments and time again. We often run from the thing that is easiest for us to do because we don't feel that it will be profitable or it can be profitable for us. in life. And so we rather go and do something that someone else is doing or attempt to do something someone else is doing, not realizing it is not our purpose. And when it's not your purpose, you don't do it well. So then the question becomes to ask yourself, what am I doing well? What is it that you do well? I talk to people all the time about what I do and the fact that I enjoy what I do every day because I do it well. And I know that I do it well. And I've come to embrace that this is what I do well. I spent many, many years doing a lot of different things. That was not what I'm doing today. And I can tell you this very um, um, definitively, and that is I was not fulfilled because most in general, I was a wife, I was a mother at that time, I had children, I had a home, and we were trying to build a home and a future at that time together. So to have a job was the thing to do, to have a job, not to have a purpose, but to have a job, not to have um, a vision that you're fulfilling or you're walking in, but to have a job. And that was just an objective to pay the bills, to do the things that needed to be done, to have the necessities that you needed in life, right? And some of your wants if you had enough left over. But when you are pursuing a dream, a vision, you're going after a goal, uh, you're exercising and you are implementing and doing well in the lane of the gift that you were given. Some people have the gift of sales, some people have the gift to speak, some people have the gift to create, some people have the gift to sew, others have it's so the singing. And so you may be a singer sitting in a cubicle somewhere, but you should be a recording artist, right? Or you may be a cook sitting in a cubicle somewhere and you should have a restaurant or be a cookbook writer or whatever the case. People are given the ability to write the imagery with writing and the metaphoric languages and the assemblies and all this kind of thing. Um, that's a gift. When and you got to know that it's a gift, things that you can do with the least amount of effort. I mean, it just comes natural to you, is the thing you ought to seek out because that's something that you do well. So you have to ask yourself, what am I doing well? Right? This is what John Maxwell says. People who reach their potential spend less time asking, what am I doing right? And more time asking, what am I doing well? What am I doing well? What is it that you do well? Ask yourself that question. What is it that I do well? Can I do it better? Can I improve upon it? Because let me tell you something. If you can improve upon it, if you can do it better, guess what? That well gets deeper. And the more that you learn about it, the more that you study it out, and the more that you maximize your potential in that area, the greater the value is on that gift, the greater the value is on that area of creativity, the greater the value is on the lane that you are driving in, because you realize and you understand, I do that well. I can do it better. I can improve upon it. The first is a moral question, right? What am I doing right? The second is a talent question. You should always strive to do what's right, but doing what's right doesn't tell you anything about your talent. Okay. He says, what skills and abilities do you have that are beyond average? Right? What skills and abilities do you have that are beyond average? Think about the thing that you do well. 9 times out of 10, it's above average. You have people that can bake a cake, and I mean, I tell you, they can bake and it just melts in your mouth. They have an ability, they have a way with that thing. Creativity, sewing, creating clothing, designs, things of that nature that just comes out of their head. It's a gift given to them. These strengths should be what you develop. So when you determine what it is that you do well, hone in on that, develop that craft, develop that gift, and put all you can into it because that's important. If you're not sure about how to judge your own abilities, ask yourself the following questions. Is someone else doing what I'm doing? 9 times out of 10, probably yes. Are they doing it well? It's a question. Okay. Number three, are they doing it better than I am? Maybe, maybe not. Can I become better than they are? Possibly. If I do become better, what will be the result? Now, I want to parenthetically insert this. All of this hinges on the fact that you take an action. Because if you take an action, you won't know the answer to any of these questions. And then the last one is, if I don't become better, what will be the result? You have to embrace your uniqueness. And this is what it said: discover your uniqueness, then discipline yourself to develop it. That's what it's all about. Once you learn what that lane is, once, and we're all given a glimpse of something at some point in time. Well, that's a vision, that's for an appointed time. But in the middle of that, you have to figure out how I'm going to curate this process to get myself from vision to manifestation and from vision to reality. How am I going to get there? I'm glad you asked. That's what pen to paper is about, helping you to take the step of getting pen and paper and getting everything that's in your head, the thoughts, the emotions, the probabilities, the everything that you have processing through, you're writing it down on paper. Pen and paper never goes out of style. These are tools that are essential. They're timeless in helping us to get to the next place of manifestation. Once you put pen to paper, you begin to curate the vision that's been given to you. You begin to identify the opportunities for that vision. You begin to see gaps that need to be filled regarding that vision. You begin to also see where you can improve upon and what you can improve upon in areas relative to that vision. It's all about getting the clutter out of your mind, getting it where it can be um, embraced, where it can be seen, where it can unfold, where it can grow, and where it can be developed. Where it can be developed. That's what it's all about. And once you take that step, you get to the next place of structuring that vision, structuring that gift, structuring those talents, getting those things to a place where you can extract strategies to help you then implement it and get it to manifestation. This is what pen to paper is all about, helping people to get to that place where they find out what their purpose in life is. And if they already know, but they don't know how to get it to manifestation, and they're struggling with what I say is extreme clarity, then that's where pen to paper can help you identify the clarity that you need. Because once you get that clarity, then you become confident. Once you become confident, then you are able to communicate better. And once you're able to communicate better, then you're able to collaborate and get that vision to manifestation. This is just, some pieces and parts of a whole that goes into the entire pen to paper journey that um, we're going to be sharing on this tour. And so I didn't want to be long tonight. I just wanted to introduce that and to encourage you to work within your strengths, maximize on your strengths, and employ your weaknesses. Don't be afraid to employ someone to help you do the things that you don't do well. But I want you to maximize on the things that you do well. So ask yourself that question: what am I doing well? And don't just ask the question, answer it by taking pen to paper and writing down what it is that you do well. And take the opportunity to make sure that you are not only, um, captivating that piece of it, but you also want to make sure that you are identifying the things that you need to do to continue that process, because that is going to be super important. And so, as I get to as I prepare to close, I want to just expound upon the fact that here again, this is going to be a huge part of what we're going to be dealing with pen to paper on this tour, and that is helping people to identify what their strengths are, the lane they're in, how what is it that they're doing well, and how to prepare yourself to get to that place of manifestation. And so I wanted to just take the opportunity tonight to share that with you, ask you to ask yourself those questions, and then take the opportunity to pin those things. And then once you pin them, give yourself some dates and harness that and really drill down on it because that's going to be important. It's so important. I can't tell you the number of people that I've talked to across this country that run into the same thing and they're not living, they're just existing because they don't really know what it is that their purpose in life is. And so I think it's important that people know, and I think this is an area and opportunity that we have to impact many people in this time and in this season with the plight of what we're dealing with and the change in the corporate arena and people having to, in some cases, take that next step in developing that gift and making that gift their livelihood. So it's important that you know that and you want to drill down on that and you want to be able to envelop the opportunity to take what it is that God has given you to the next level. So one of the things that I've said, and I'm going to be done for tonight, and that is when I began this journey, one of the things I knew was I had the gift of administration. I didn't realize to the extent until I had an opportunity to step into uh, my first client. It was my first client, and I was stepped into this opportunity, and I took a huge risk. I mean, it was fear and trembling, but that was the only way I was going to know if this was the thing that I was to do. And of course, it developed and grew over time. It was something I did well, but I was able to become better and I was able to improve upon it. And as a result, I was able to help others with it. And so this is the thing that I say everywhere I go. And that is you have to continue to see what you saw. And once you do that, if you continue to see what you saw and put pen to paper, it can become something tangible. When it becomes something tangible, you can see the reality of you doing it and taking it to the next level. And so we have to take the opportunity to nurture and structure the thing that it is that God has given us to do so that it can grow, so that it can be nurtured, and so that we can take the opportunity to utilize the gifts that's been given to us to help someone else to achieve what it is that God has given for them to do. And so, um, as we embark upon pen to paper, I want to encourage you if you have not registered and if you're in any of the cities that we're going to be stopping in. First stop, of course, is Atlanta, Georgia. If you are in or around Atlanta, Georgia, or know anyone in the Atlanta, Georgia area, encourage them. Go to bridgetmoody.com/tour and get registered. It's going to be at 3550 Ventura Parkway. That's the Courtyard Marriott. We'll be there 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, April 27th. That's the end of this month, the first stop on the tour. We're looking forward to seeing you, and you, yes, you, at Pen to Paper, Atlanta, Georgia. It's the first workshop on the tour, the first stop on the tour, and we're absolutely excited about it. We go from Atlanta, Georgia. On May 4th, we'll be in Hampton Roads, Virginia, in the Norfolk area. Same time, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is going to be an amazing opportunity for you. If you are that person or you know someone, listen, make sure that you get them and you bring somebody with you. This is the time, this is the season to tap into the thing that you do well, have clarity about it, gain confidence about it, and go and do what it is that you have been called and purposed to do. Once we leave there, we'll be headed to Las Vegas, Nevada for the Mid-Year Empowerment Conference that is a part of Pen to Paper. So we'll be stopping in Las Vegas, and this is where we'll be working with youth, young adults, some foster kids there. Um, it's going to be an amazing weekend. We'll be there the 29th and the 30th, Saturday and a Sunday. You know anyone in the Las Vegas area, or you just want to take a trip to Las Vegas and join us there, we'd love to see you in Las Vegas, Nevada. We leave Las Vegas and then we head over to San Bernardino, California, August 3rd. From there to Chicago, Illinois, will be there with Edwin and Sydney. They are our host in Chicago. And once we leave Chicago, then we'll be headed to Portland, Oregon on September 7th. We leave Portland, Oregon, we head to Houston, Texas, September 21st. And then we look forward to ending the tour in in DC on October 5th. Now, we may have a couple of other announcements for workshop stops along the way as people are finalizing dates, but that's what we have so far. And so we look forward to seeing you. And then we will end the tour with a conference in Dallas, Texas on November 1st and 2nd, 2024. Now, you can register for the conference in Dallas right now. Registration is open. Early bird registration is available. You can register right now. We look forward to seeing you in Dallas. It is going to be an amazing time. The last conference last year in November here in Dallas was a phenomenal time. And I tell you, people were literally blessed off their feet, literally. And so we had an amazing time, and people's lives were impacted like never before. And when I tell you they have been experiencing success since that time, is an understatement. So listen, ask yourself these questions. What is it that I do well? Work within your strengths. Look, embrace your uniqueness. Then take the opportunity to discipline yourself to develop it. Okay? Develop that gift, develop your uniqueness because you are unique for a reason. The vision is a one person invitation by God for you to collaborate with Him on the call and purpose for your life. Won't you accept that invitation? Won't you RSVP and step into your purpose and your calling today? All right. This has been Tuesday Motivation and Conversation. It's been amazing, as always. And join us on Friday night. Um, Jamal and I will be here on Friday night to share with you. So tap into Friday night chat. Those are relationship conversations that we've been having on Friday nights. We've been enjoying that. So make sure you stop back in and be with us on Friday night, 8:30 Central Standard Time. We'll see you next time right here. Tuesday Motivation Conversation. Good night.